Your photography business has a problem, and it's not your problem. Welcome to the second video on the business of photography. My name is Rosh, and we are looking at your photography business a whole completely new way. And we're starting off with the problem in your photography business. And it's not what you think. It's not accounting. It's not the studio you have or don't have. It's not equipment. It's not what you think it is, because it's not your problem. It's your customer's problem. It's your future client's problem. We need to solve their problem before they hire you. Hey, if you haven't already, check it out. There's a download in the description below to support you with your photography business. When you go into business, you're going into the problem-solving business, and this includes the photography business. Yes, your future clients have a problem that needs to be solved, but here's the thing. Sometimes they don't realize what the real problem is. So when we can dig down deep and really look at our target market, look at the people who very well may want to hire us to create images for them, we have to ask ourselves, what is their real problem? One of the most important things you can do is step into the shoes of your customer and understand where they are coming from. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about your customer. Who is your best customer, and what is what we refer to as their persona? But for now, we need to figure out what the problem is so we can figure out who our best customer is. And quite often, it is not the problem we're thinking of. And we need to dig deeper. We need to think about, why is it that somebody needs a photographer? A number of years ago, I was hired to photograph a wedding. And this experience really opened my eyes and actually led to more opportunities to photograph more weddings. It was early in my career, and I presented my portfolio and my pricing, and I was hired, but not because of my portfolio or pricing. It's because of something else. It's because of me listening to the client and understanding that photography was really not her problem. Yes, she needed a photographer. She wanted a photographer for her wedding, but there was something else. She needed a guide. She needed someone to support her through the process of going through her wedding. Now, she was planning the entire wedding with a few friends and family members, and so she knew what was going on, but it was her first wedding. And in many cases, for a lot of brides, it's their first wedding, and they need support along the way. And so I explained to her, as she started asking questions, what the steps generally are, what to expect. And I let her know that I would be there for her and help her along the way, because I was going to be there the entire time. And that comfort level solved a bigger problem than needing a photographer. And it was a big lesson to me. I understood that sometimes the problem you think you're solving isn't necessarily the problem you think you're solving. When you start to listen to customers, and we're going to share a few ways in which you can get more insight, but even one-on-one, when you listen to your customers and figure out why they did or did not hire you, this is going to give you additional insight into what you can do to improve your photography business and increase what we refer to as your close rate. With every person you meet, a larger percentage of them will actually hire you. So you need to figure out, what are those triggers? Because here's the thing, hiring a photographer is a risk. And one of the most important things that we can do as a photographer is lower the risk to hire us. Here's another example. A new client of mine asked me to photograph their product. And after talking with them, it sounded like they really wanted me to create a very boring photograph for their website and maybe some PowerPoints and a brochure. And I knew that their big problem was not that they didn't have a photograph. Their problem was that they needed to sell more of that product. And so what they were suggesting to me was not going to do the trick. So I talked to them deeper and said, I think we can do better. I understand that you want to sell more. I have a few ideas that maybe could make your product look more interesting, more exciting, more appealing to your target audience. And so we did that, and we experimented, and we came up with some great images. And because I took the time to look deeper into why they wanted to hire a photographer, what their ultimate need was, their ultimate problem that needed to be solved, I was able to do a better job for the client. And that helped develop my reputation. Your reputation is your brand. And as you start to solve deeper problems for your customers, your reputation will improve and increase. So will your rates, and your brand will become the #1 thing that people are willing to pay for as you grow your photography business. Once you dig deeper and define the unseen problems that go beyond just creating another photograph for another client, once you truly understand what it is people really want, you're going to have an easier time providing the photographic products and services that people actually are willing to pay for. What people were willing to pay for 5 years ago may not be what they're willing to pay for today. That's why we have to continuously evolve our businesses and use the combination code. Combined new strategies, philosophies, technologies, design, maybe some elements of other industries into our photography to help separate ourselves from the competition and continually reinvent ourselves in a new way, providing photographic, visual opportunities that maybe people have never seen before or didn't even know was available. You have to continuously innovate. That is an important part of keeping your photography fresh and your business growing over time. So how do you really know what people are looking for in a photographer? I think there are a few really good solutions. And one of them is to look at reviews, maybe Google reviews or Yelp reviews, and see what people are saying. Pay particular attention to the negative reviews. What is it that people don't like about their photographer? And you have to take the time to sit back and look at your industry as a whole and think about what are those problems, what are the trends, and how can you as a photographer fix them? You can also tap into the search engines and see what people are searching for. Maybe there's a new trend in a specific style of photography. Maybe people are starting to look for something new. Well, you can go to a tool such as Answer the Public and take a look and see what are people actually searching for. You can then apply the tool Keywords Everywhere and see the search volume of those questions. And if you want to take it a step further, go to Google Trends and see what is trending as it relates to photography. Once you recognize and develop solutions for your future and current clients' problems, there's an important question you need to ask. And it's probably one of the hardest questions you can ask about your photography business. And the question is, why you? Why should somebody hire you? And it goes a lot further than just your personality, although that can be part of the solution. And it goes beyond customer service. And customer service is mandatory. You have to have the best customer service, except you can't promote it. Only other people can talk about your customer service. And guarantees. There are many things you can throw out there to add a foundation and support and lower the risk, as we've talked about, to hiring you. But it goes well beyond those basic things. Those are the basics. Why you is a much deeper question. Sometimes it really does come down to money, and this can be an uncomfortable situation. So I have a video coming up on negotiation to help support you with some tools and concepts that'll make negotiation a little easier and help you develop a win-win for both you and your client. You have an opportunity to listen and listen well to your current and past clients. Don't get defensive, and believe me, I'm guilty as anyone about getting defensive when people are saying negative things about me, my photography, my industry. But you have to listen, because when you listen, you can develop solutions, and those solutions are going to take your photography business into the future. What you need to do is take action and solve problems. So your next assignment is to define the problems that your photography solves. And the next thing you need to do is, if you have not already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon so you're notified when the next video is uploaded.